Hey, welcome back. This is going to be another episode of just the whole entire process of going back to school and pursuing, either going back to undergraduate school or just rematriculation. That's the actual term. So I actually went to Stony Brook University from 2013, no, 2009 to 2013, and I also was going. I went this to Stony Brook to take a few classes when I first started, like back in 2004 or something like that. And the idea was really to go to school for computer science, and it was like really frustrating at the amount of work I actually had to do for myself in order to actually be prepared for school, and looking for a quick way, to get through school, which is why I went and got my degree from Barker College, even though it was very expensive and it was very little of value in the workforce compared to the work I actually learned at work. But that's not really a big problem. The problem was myself. I actually wanted to go ahead and make sure people understand that going to school is it's not necessarily what you have to do in order to have a job or in order to have a good life. But I like school. One thing I liked about Stony Brook was university was that you had the network of students and teachers, and you had the opportunity to build experiences that were necessary for human, development. And at the time I went to school, I was also studying Japanese. I attended different courses. I met different people who were also studying for different things from all over the world, and it really allowed me as a student to really hone down on what I actually wanted to do and what based on like how the world was changing. And the course that I was actually taking was from the the College of Engineering and Applied Sciences. And in that course, there was a few different courses you had to basically take, not just math and science and engineering courses, but also management and understanding how to work as a group or work as a team, theory about logistics and for solving problems and real world problems. And with school today is that the computer science master's degree and even the PhD degrees are pretty much necessary in order to actually continue to advance in the computing world, the computing industry. It's not because of the fact that you can't get a job and work. It's just that there's just more work to be done, and they need to have as many bright people as possible. They want to prepare people as much as possible. Now, I'm when I would 10 years, 20 years ago, I probably was only going to try to get my bachelor's degree, and that was going to be it. But realizing this now, at 37 years old, that it's actually important to keep going back to school, and that school is not just this thing you do when you're 18 and you're 25 years old. You actually do these things to to continue to improve yourself. And one of the things about computer science is that you need to have other people to work with. And at work you can only do so much to grow, and then when it comes down to education, like an academic situation, you actually have opportunities to do research that could possibly trigger a business idea, or it could trigger an opportunity to help people who aren't necessarily capable of helping themselves because of whatever the case may be. So solving problems is basically what computer science is all about, and utilizing programs like algorithms and database management, and even what we also have now, the data science, where we're able to go ahead and look into the how the data is as a whole, look at the abstraction differences and changes in over different periods of times and different states of changes. It's really interesting, and that's where I'm going to start talking to you today about the courses. And there's a few courses, and basically at Stony Brook there's 4 different courses, on 4 different types of courses that you have to take for the master's program. You have theory, you have software, you have systems, you have information intelligence systems. And each course, each topic, there's at least about 5 to 6, at least 6 classes, and totaling each class is basically 3 credits. So, sometimes graduate classes are usually 4 or 5, but these are actually 3. And you have to take, I think you have to take at least, what would they basically say? Bring it up real quick. Yeah, so you need to take at least 31 graduate credits. So you need 31 graduate credits. So that's, that's roughly 15 courses, and you can take them within one of these 4 topics. And the topics for theory is machine learning, theory of computation, logic and computer science, discrete mathematics, analysis of algorithms, and computational biology. For software, you have compiler design, computing with logic, principles of programming languages, theory of database systems, and distributed systems. For systems, you have computer architecture, operating systems, network security, computer system security, and fundamentals of computer networks. And then the last one is information and intelligence systems, data science fundamentals, introduction to computer vision, computer graphics, artificial intelligence, natural language processing, and visualization. I've actually, after actually going through all these things, I actually found out that I'm actually really interested in natural language processing. If you don't know what that actually is that if you are using any like voice to text, for example, or your Siri or your Google Assistant or Google Alexa is able to listen to different words and able to kind of turn those words into text, that's basically processing human speech and finding ways to add different applications to that, not just Alexa and apps and stuff like that. Is also maybe listening to videos and knowing how to index those videos, for example. Those things are actually interesting to me. And the only way to really grant access to the people who are working with these bright minds, you have to be able to be mindful of what you usually want to do. And making these videos here are actually a great way for me to do that, because now I can pay attention to the actual the actual projects of what I can actually build from these things. Now, with the 31 credits, basically you need to have, I'm gonna make a video, each video for each class. But there are 31 graduate credits in the computer science department, and you have to kind of find ways to build your master's degree, like thesis or project based on like the research that you would get from learning from these classes. So with technology today, rather than was 15, 20 years ago, you have so many ways to break down information and share it and be able to build on top of knowledge that you're learning. One thing about computer science is that you can build off of the access of, let me see where I have it. Whoops. Yeah. So one of the things is you have like this Raspberry Pi here. This is the Raspberry Pi 4 Model B, and it's pretty much a computer, a small little mini computer that uses the ARMS architecture, which is pretty much the same computing power of like your mobile phones. Many of the tablets usually use it too, but its mobile applications are basically using it because they need this architecture to be able to be capable of fitting in devices like this. And the thing about it that you can hook this up to not just one but 2 full screen televisions or monitors. You get video and audio. You can hook a webcam to it, and it also is powered by USB-C. Now that alone takes a lot of different disciplines in order to be able to get these things, to work and to be able to be given to the public. And with with the actual computer science degree, I can actually can focus more on how to make this more usable, user-friendly for everybody, using the knowledge that I actually used going to school, and also all the experience I actually have working and noticing all the different problems that are coming up. I can actually quickly come up with more ideas than a standard student that probably just has theoretical and not just practical experience. So this is one of the reasons why I think that if you're thinking about going back to school or going to school for the first time, these are some of the things you need to be able to think about. And not only these things, you can also take advantage of online learning from places like Coursera, which is pretty much like it's like the Netflix for education. That's how I kind of look at it. Literally any course is available on Coursera, and you can take the classes and get certificates that you can add to your LinkedIn page and grow if you don't necessarily want to start going to school right away in these classes. For me, my plan is probably to plan out how the classes I would like to take, find out how much time I actually need to get them, look for the equivalent courses on Coursera, and find people on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram who are in those spaces, and try to find a separate account that will basically be linked to all that information. So while I'm going to school and researching and reading these books, I can add all that information to these places. What I really want to do is get these algorithms to start parsing this information and finding ways to get people to be interested in the information I'm looking for, but also be able to quickly get feedback on which way is the best way, or if there's any opportunities other places. Right now, it's not just like taking whiteboarding exercises and doing code reviews to get work. You can also go ahead and create a whole new problem. Not really a whole new problem. You could create a whole new solution to a problem and build the business around you, which is why another reason why I talk to you guys about starting a business. It doesn't really have to start with the actual business or the skill. It starts with the thought. From your mind, then it gets applied into reality. So that's basically it. And this video is already going on 12 minutes, but this is the second video to the whole idea about applying for grad school. And Stony Brook University is a great school. It's like ranking in I think it's the top 10% in the country last time I checked. And that's basically it. So the next video, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about one of the first courses, which is in the theory of machine learning, which is one of the topics I am actually interested in. I'm not going to spend too much time into it, but this video is to make us a breadth of understanding of each class, of each course, and then as time goes on, as I find links to different places, I'll start adding them in the description and add them in the comments. And as time goes on, I can continue to leave information available to someone else that might want to do the same thing in the future. So take care. See you next video.